Hi, fifth graders. So, yesterday you learned how to convert a mixed number to an improper fraction. So, really quick, let's just go over one of those problems one more time. So, if I'm going from a mixed number, say I have, let's say I have 3.5, and I want to change that into an improper fraction. Our step one from yesterday is we are going to use the same denominator as our mixed number. So, we can go ahead and put a 2 as the denominator of our improper fraction. Our next step is we're going to multiply our whole number by our denominator. If we do 3 times 2, we get 6. Now, we don't want to stop there. We have one number that we haven't used yet. We have not used our numerator over here yet. So if you remember from yesterday, we're going to take our answer from here. We're going to take 6. We're going to do 6 plus 1, which equals 7. And 7 is our new numerator. So 3.5 is equivalent to 7/2. And if we want to use a picture just to double check our work, we can say that we've got 1, 2, 3 wholes, and I'm going to divide them into 2 pieces because that's our denominator over here. So we have those 3, and then we can't forget about our 1/2. So we know that 2 gets to stay as our denominator right here, but let's count up how many pieces we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a really good way to double check our work. But let's say that I give you an improper fraction and I want you to turn it into a mixed number. That's going to be our lesson today. So I'm going to give you an improper fraction. So again, just like your directions, it would be really helpful if you have either a piece of paper and a pencil or a whiteboard and a whiteboard marker so you can be doing these problems along with me. So we've got, let's do 8/3. 8/3 is our improper fraction, and we want to turn it into a mixed number. Remember, a mixed number, we've got a whole number and a proper fraction right next to each other. I know this is an improper fraction because my numerator is bigger than my denominator. So what I have to do is I have to figure out how many times 3 can go into 8 when I'm multiplying, when I'm counting my multiples without going over. So we practiced with fractions the other week about writing out our multiples. So we're going to write out the multiples of our denominator, and our denominator is 3. So we're going to write 3, 6, 9, and I'm going to stop there because 9 is a bigger number than 8. And I want to figure out how many times 3 can go into 8 without going over. So I got to stop right there. 3 can go into 8 1, 2 times. So 3 goes into 8 2 times. 2 is my whole number of my mixed number. So 3 goes into 8 2 times. And I know from here that my biggest multiple that I could fit into 8 was 6. So I have to figure out what was left over. What didn't I get to use in between here? So I do 8 minus 6, which equals 2. Now remember from before when we went from a mixed number to an improper fraction, we kept our denominator. We get to do that when we go from an improper fraction to a mixed number. So our denominator is still going to be 3. Our numerator is going to be 2. I kind of just gave you a lot of steps and showed you how to do it. So our step 1 was we had to list the multiples of our denominator. That was step 1, and that's listed on your Google Slides here. Step 1 is to list the multiples of your denominator. Step 2 is to figure out how many multiples can go into your numerator without going over. Step number 3 is to take your original numerator and subtract the number that showed how many multiples we could fit in there, which was our 6, to get your new numerator. Let's try again with another problem. Let's do 10 fourths. So again, just like yesterday, if you want the very first thing that you do to be to write down that you're going to keep your denominator, go for it. That's a great first step that doesn't involve any math. It's just moving our denominator over. So that's our first step. Then our next step is going to be to list our multiples of our denominator. When we list our multiples of our denominator, we've got 4, 8, 12. I'm going to stop there. 12 is a bigger number than 10. Because 12 is a bigger number than 10, I know that 4 can go into 10 one time, 2 times. 2 is our whole number again. So we've already used up 8 of the 10. So let's do 10, minus 8. We get 2. So we've got 2 and 2 fourths. So we kept our denominator the same. We listed our multiples. We circled our multiples, and the amount of circles we had was 2. So 2 was our whole number. We used 8 of the 10. So we did 10 minus 8, and that equaled 2, and our 2 went up top. Let's do one more problem together. Let's do 22 fifths. 22 fifths. So again, if you would like your first step to just be we're going to keep our denominator, go for it. Put it right over there. That's a great first step to have. If you do that first step or last step, it doesn't make a difference with what your answer is. Just make sure that you stick it in there either way. Okay, so our next step is to list our multiples of our denominator. So we've got 5, 10. Oops, I gotta zoom out here. Then we've got 15, 20. I gotta keep going because I don't have a number that's bigger than 22 yet. So we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oop, there we go. 25 is a bigger number than 22. So I'm going to circle all the numbers that are smaller than 22. I've got 5 is smaller, 10 is smaller, 15, and 20. How many circles did I have? I had 1, 2, 3, 4 circles. So 4 is your whole number. Now, I used 20 of my 22. So I need to do what is 22 minus 20. I get 2. 22 minus 20 is 2. And that pops up, and that is my numerator for my mixed number. So you are going to have problems today where you are doing just what I'm doing, and you're converting an improper fraction to a mixed number. You're going to have 4 of those problems, and then you're going to be ordering mixed numbers and improper fractions from least to greatest. But today, you're going to be converting the improper fractions to the mixed numbers instead of the mixed numbers to the improper fractions. So let me know if you have any questions. If you need to watch this video maybe once or twice just so that you can work along with me, that would be a really good idea.